There lives in the land of Hollywood a fair maiden who is not found very often anymore. We're talking about someone who is actually truly beautiful, Sydney Sweeney, and she is being called out by the Hollywood elites, being told, well, she's not so pretty, she's not so nice. Well, folks, she has responded, and she does not need to respond twice, because let me tell you what, Sydney Sweeney is speaking out as she shouts, "It's okay that I'm beautiful." Hello, folks. Welcome back to a channel that believes all of you out there are beautiful, at least on the inside, when you choose to be the best version of yourself you can be. Sydney Sweeney, well, she's just naturally, physically beautiful, but not everyone agrees. Perhaps that's due to jealousy, though, and Sydney Sweeney is now lashing back out, perhaps in an appropriate way, after the Hollywood elites have decided that she's not beautiful. And, well, maybe that's because they don't believe in beauty anymore. But audiences, they seem to do. And because of that, the Hollywood elites hate her even more. It's a real Snow White story. No Rachel Zegler needed for this one. Folks, let's bring on the panel and talk about it right now. It says, Sydney Sweeney shares cheeky message, not massage, after Hollywood producer insults her looks. Sorry for having great bits.
I love this shit.
She achieved a whole new level of respect with me when she put this out. I got to tell you, good for her.
She's
Amazing. I love her. She's so good.
Here's the article by Paul Boyce, is what I'm going to say, but it might be Bois. Actress Sydney Sweeney may have coyly fired back at Hollywood. What's that?
It's bois. That's
bois.
French, by the way, for wood. Appropriate to this story. Anyway,
actress, Luke, you're on a 5-minute timeout now, Luke. Actress Sydney Sweeney may have coyly fired back at Hollywood producer Carol Baum this weekend when the Euphoria star issued a cheeky message on social media, sorry for having great bits. Last week, Carol Baum, whose credits include Dead Ringers, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Father of the Bride, disparaged the actress's looks, openly questioning her it girl status. There's an actress who everybody loves now, Sydney Sweeney. I don't get Sydney Sweeney. I was watching on the plane Sydney Sweeney's movie, Anyone But You, because I wanted to watch it. I wanted to know who she is and why everybody's talking about her, she told New York Times film critic Janet Maslin. I watched this unwatchable movie. Sorry to people who love this romantic comedy where they hate each other, she added. Baum, who also works as an adjunct professor, University of Southern California, where things are going dandy for colleges around our country right now, said she asked her class of geniuses, I'm sure, and maybe a few narcissists, maybe all, to explain the Sydney Sweeney phenomenon. I said to my class, explain this girl to me. She's not pretty. She can't act. Why is she so hot? Nobody had an answer. I couldn't believe it.
For that.
That's where I have to go with it. Exactly.
Speaking as a USC alumni, I would have told her, if you have to ask, your libido can't afford it.
Well, and their grades could not afford it. That's why there was no response.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
But Sydney Sweeney has hit back. She says, how sad that a woman in the position to share her expertise and experience chooses instead to attack another woman. If that's what she learned in her decades in the industry and feels it's appropriate to teach her students, that is shameful. To unjustly disparage a fellow female producer speaks volumes about Miss Baum's character, the statement said. And several days later, she fired back with a personal salvo of her own on Instagram, where she posted the image that we had at the top, or maybe it's not in here, but anyway, it says... You
did get the brilliant dig in decades in the industry in there.
Yes, absolutely.
I love this girl, I tell you.
Absolutely. And the bottom line here, what I want to focus on, is that there is a push right now for unattractive body types and forms and unathleticism and promotion of body positivity that isn't health positivity. And we're drawn to people who are healthy. We're drawn to people who have symmetry. We're drawn to people who exemplify the human form. That's why you have the Greek and Roman statues looking the way they do. Funny fact, folks, although some of us need to always improve ourselves, myself included, there are no love handles on the Greek and Roman statues for some reason. I can't explain it. There's no beer guts on the Greek and Roman statues for some reason. And I just find it interesting that at the same time we'll be covering the topic we are about the evil queen who is shall we say, avant-garde at Disney World. At the same time that we're doing this push to kind of semi-erase women, they really are trying to erase women because they hate the attractive women, such as Sydney Sweeney. Simultaneous to that, she is succeeding by simply being pretty and by clapping back at those who would enjoy it if she was not in front of audiences clapping for her. So, Lorena, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on Sydney Sweeney and this, I guess, this intra-Hollywood hatred for her because she's succeeding on looks?
Well, first of all, I love this chick. Okay. I love her because it's clapback that she did, because not only is this just in Hollywood, this is in society in general. You have a group of women, and yes, I will say this because this is my spicy commentary. You have a group of ugly women in society today who are still pissed off and angry at attractive women who they think take away their chances with men. Yes, I said it. I've experienced that in the workforce, where you will get some seriously ugly chicks who will have an attitude with you and sabotage you just because you happen to look attractive. Now, one time, Hollywood was like that. Beautiful, gorgeous women. You may have had a couple of women who, we'll call them BBWs, had a couple, extra pounds on them, but they were very shapely and they were very attractive. So you kind of overlooked the size a little bit, but you could not deny that they were attractive. Now in Hollywood, you have a group of women and a group of male feminists. You never trust a male feminist, okay? You just don't. That are now in the influence sphere in Hollywood and also in gaming, who want to self-insert themselves, and they want to stick a incendiary device in the back of attractive women in general. They don't want attractive women in movies. They don't want attractive women in gaming, because they're threatened by that. And they don't like that. And they don't want to relive those uncomfortable feelings of them being passed over in favor of attractive women. They straight up hate attractive women. Okay. They do. And it's all rooted in jealousy. And what I like to say is, your lack of self-esteem is not my problem. Your lack of self-esteem is not the audience's problem. And your lack of self-esteem is not the internet problem.
Well said, Lorena. Speaking of which, this is what is actually being done in Hollywood. This is out of IGN India. You can see what they've done to the avatar there. That is supposed to be a woman. She's now wide-legged. I don't know what to call this. IGN.
I don't know what that bulge is, but she's not pregnant. Let's be sure of that.
Well, what Pokemon Go has done is they've essentially removed the female form from their avatars, and people are furious. Now, this article from IGN, we're not going to read it because IGN is not putting the pictures of the avatars in their articles, because that would go against what IGN is trying to push as a narrative, in my estimation. But at the same time that Sydney Sweeney is hitting back, and being called unattractive, they're going in, they're erasing the female form out of gaming and making these characters into very ugly blob kind of things. Mike, Culture, what do you guys think about this push for ugliness in entertainment?
Who goes first, me or Culture?
You go ahead, Mikey.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, needless to say, Mexican Iron Man is pro smoking hot chicks. I know that this may surprise many of you who know me and have known me over the years on my few and far between appearances on YouTube. But breaking news: Mexican Iron Man is in support, literally and figuratively, of smoking hot chicks, wherever they may be. In fact, I stand as I'm going to be so bold and brave as to say that Mexican Iron Man is prepared to defend smoking hot chicks on site, one-on-one, when and where necessary.
But Mike, will you defend the virtual ones? Look at what was on the left was the original avatar they had in the game. The right is the new version because you can no longer have female hips or female, stomach, tummy, whatever you want to call it. It's switched to dude.
It's exactly what Lorena says. I mean, look, Lorena, you've had a very successful career in corporate America. I cannot only imagine all the crap you probably had to put up with that you never complain about in the workplace, because you are incredibly attractive and you're brilliant. You're super intelligent. I mean, that is like a double, like, interdimensional threat for the average female that is neither attractive or intelligent. And so I cannot imagine how you've been able to be successful in corporate America. And Hollywood, we once celebrated at least attractiveness. I don't know if we've ever celebrated intellect because there's never been much in Hollywood. No offense, Lou, but I'm talking about the people you hired, not you. In terms of actors and actresses. But look, it's pretty, especially, lately, last few years, we've been starving in a desert. I mean, it started with Ghostbusters 2016. Things have been pretty dry here for, what's left of the male gaze. I mean, I'm about to go to in the Smithsonian Museum. They should have their own display section area called the male gaze. This thing that existed for 40,000 years and somewhere died right after Ghostbusters 2016.
I got a feeling the male gaze is not happening, but the female gaze also seems to be quite disappointed. Take a look at this image here of Pokemon Go. It says, this is by Honey Buns, is the name she goes by on Twitter. And she says, I honestly didn't think it would be so bad. She looks sick. Someone send help. Hashtag not my avatar. And again, folks, remember, they're claiming that Sydney Sweeney, she's the ugly one. They like the Pokemon Go avatars. They hate Sydney Sweeney, and she is striking back now and, frankly, fighting for, I suppose, beauty on the silver screen again. Culture, Lou, your thoughts?
Look, Sydney Sweeney's a gorgeous woman. This was a ridiculous statement made, last week. She hit back as only she could have. And that sweatshirt is something I think all ladies who have wonderful gifts should acquire. You should be proud of that. And for, having the curves that Lorena was talking about. The uglification is done for a whole lot of reasons. I'm going to cut through the garbage and just say, look at what happened during the quote unquote cultural revolution in China, because that's the same playbook they're running now. I'm not kidding. From entertainment to everything, they're trying to, dilute everything that we find attractive, whether it's the symmetry, whether it's any of these things. You see this exact same playbook making men and women look the same, dressing them in potato sacks if they can. And that's basically what they're doing from gaming and everywhere else. These are indoctrinated propagandists that are just throwing this stuff out there. And I know we don't get political, but this is what's happening.
Well, we do when it intersects. I mean, when entertainment right now has become the propaganda tool of a particular partisan ideology. And we have to call it out because it's destroying the stuff we cover. Little secret, folks. It's actually hard for us to find topics to cover on a daily basis here on the Pro Channel. Now, we find very interesting things and cover them. But compared to last year, and why is it difficult for us to find topics? Because there's so few franchises remaining that people care about. And so we cover those. But they have decimated their own industry. Lou, go ahead.
Well, on the other hand, I want to thank you all. First of all, I second everything that's been said. Second of all, leftism of all kinds is about envy, pure and simple. And that goes with everything Lorena was saying and everything these people are doing. But most importantly, you have now explained something to me that I was totally confused about. And let me explain what that is. We've been talking about how Disney's been advertising an Avatar land at Disneyland and how there's no land for it since they're not taking out Autopia. Now I know what kind of Avatar land they're talking about.
Oh my gosh, please no Pokemon Go Avatar land, please. Please.
Now I understand. It all makes sense. You see?
I don't want to be androgenized on the way in. Please, no.
The classic song, Hooray for Hollywood, the lyric is, to be an actor, see Mr. Factor, he'll make your kisser look good. He said, go on and try your luck. You could be Donald Duck. Hooray for Hollywood. Well, I could rewrite that song now about go see a doctor. He'll make your blankter. But I won't.
He won't.
And for those of you out there in the glorious world of, and thank you so much, fans of Lou, go back and watch the last 10 minutes again sometime with my twisted mind and see how many double entendres happened in this conversation. Because Jonah should be proud of me for not interjecting.
And we have come to the end, ladies and gentlemen, yet again. A video of excellence, we hope. And if you agree, well, you could be so kind. Click the like button, share, subscribe. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, don't forget that we have a brand new channel, That Park Place Podcasts, online, T3PO, or if you just type in at That Pod Place. We think you'll have a good time. Long format discussions and content you might not find anywhere else. Folks, it's been a good one. We'll see you real soon. Keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.